Welcome back to French Cooking with Chef Brett Heath. I'm Chef Brett Heath, and the purpose of this channel is we like to take traditional French recipes and we like to put a home-style twist on them to where they're just as delicious, but still keeping with honoring the tradition of the recipe. And I'm so excited to share with you what we have for you this week. Hi, welcome to the French Cooking with Chef Brett Heath channel. I'm excited to share the recipe with you today. We're going to be making French-style hamburgers, and the few things that we're going to need is hamburger patties, of course. We're going to need Dijon mustard, and we're going to need Worcestershire sauce, cheese, onion, garlic, and heavy whipping cream. All right, let's get started. Now the burgers we're about to make are not just regular burgers. We're going to add a French Dijon mustard sauce to them. And in case if you are wondering, you may think, yes, this is kind of a weird way to dress for a cooking video, but it is Boomer Sooner Saturday, so don't judge me. Alrighty, so let's get started. You want to have it on medium heat, and the first thing you're going to need is about a tablespoon of onion and about 2 or 3 garlic gems. But before we do that, we better put the butter in it. I'm going to have put in about a tablespoon of butter. Once that begins to melt, you want to move it around real good. As it begins to melt, you can go ahead and throw your onions and garlic in there. And you want to go ahead and make the sauce before you make the hamburgers, because you can always put the sauce on low to keep it warm, because the hamburgers, they don't take very long to cook. So we'll go ahead and make sure this all gets mixed well together. Go ahead and turn the heat up just a little bit further because you want it on medium to high heat. You don't want to burn everything, but you want to make sure it all gets cooked well together as well. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in about a cup of white cooking wine. Go ahead and put that in there for a second. And then we're going to mix it all together and let it start to cook. And we're going to wait for it to start to bubble. If you want to make it cook a little bit quicker, you may say, Chef Brett, that is the wrong type of lid. And you would be absolutely correct. But I have no idea where the lid is to the pan, so we are going to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So if you go ahead and place it on there while the wine is in there with everything, it'll start to bubble, and then here in just a minute, we'll add the heavy whipping cream. Now give it about 5 to 10 minutes on medium to high heat, because once that wine begins to bubble, that's when we want to go ahead and add our heavy whipping cream. Go ahead and put that in there. We'll go ahead and mix it up a little, and we're going to do the exact same thing because that makes it about half the time to cook when you have a lid on there. Doesn't have to be the right lid, just got to be a lid. Okay, now make sure you give it the occasional stir. Even if you've got a lid on it, take it off, stir it around a few times. And the kind of thickency that you're looking for is a very thick and creamy type of thickency. And if you can go ahead and take a quick look in here, you'll see what we're talking about. Alrighty, and then now, once you've got that thickency that you like, you want to go ahead and next, you want to stir in about a cup of Dijon mustard. Now, if you're like me and you keep tasting the sauce little by little, you can always add more. But that's a good start, is about 1 cup. Just go ahead and stir it in there real nice, and we'll go ahead and put the extra little bit in there just a second. And then once we get our Dijon mustard in there, that's when we'll put it on low and we'll start our burgers, so everything should be ready about the same time. So a good little side note, use a spoon instead of a wooden stick. Now we got that in there. Go ahead and give it a good stir in, and then we'll go ahead and put it on low. There we go. Give it a good stir, and then go ahead and add about 4 drops of Worcestershire sauce to it. And you stir that in as well, because you don't want to just drop it in, because then it goes to a totally different look and not the right consistency and things of that nature. Alrighty. And then now, while that's thickening up to where we need to be and it's on low, let's go ahead and start on our burgers. Now, the way we're going to do these burgers are a little bit different. Most people just have a little bit of olive oil, they'll throw it in the pan, and they'll start cooking. But what makes things a little bit different is we have the special French butter called Maitre d'Hotel butter. And that is an herb and lemon butter that is delicious, and I put it in everything. Everything. And the best kind of thing to use, in my opinion, is this French style butter, which we will have that in the comment or in the top for you. And the first thing you want to do is take about a spoonful and make sure that pan is nice and hot where you can hear that sizzle down to low to medium heat. And you want to go ahead and take about 2 tablespoons of our herb butter, our Maitre d'Hotel butter. And so we're going to go ahead and have a little bit of oil. We'll have the butter in there, and then we'll go ahead and start throwing some patties on there. I'm making quite a few for people today. I mean, it is game day, and game day always goes better with a good burger. And if you're wondering what kind of seasoning, it's just salt, pepper, and garlic. And I had it on medium, but we're going to go turn it up a little bit further and let them start to cook. And once they get to cooking, we'll start doing a little bit of basting of the butter. And even when you're cooking the burgers and your sauce is basically done, you do want to give it the occasional stir, because if you don't, then the sauce will break. You say, what does that mean to break? Basically, all the ingredients will come undone and it'll be a whole mess. It can get very watery, and then you have to redo the sauce. So make sure while your burgers are cooking, you don't want those in your food. You do not want boogers in your food. While the burgers are cooking, make sure you give your sauce a couple of stirs. Alrighty, and as your burgers start to cook, okay, so that's strike 2. Say that again, this video's done. Burgers are cooking, we're going ahead and start to baste them. And what that means is you put some butter in there, mix it, and then you take a good sized spoon. This is a smaller spoon, and you do exactly that. You take that melted butter and you start putting it on your patties, because that will really intensify the flavor. Oh, these are going to be delicious. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It smells amazing. As the Grinch once said, these are fabulous. And we'll give them a couple more minutes and we'll start to flip. Alright, these are almost ready to flip. Go ahead and baste them one more time just to really get that butter all up in that meat. And we'll do that, and they'll be ready to flip. And definitely use a strain, or not. What are these things called?
Spatula.
Yeah, I know that, but to strain. Use one of these with the holes in them. Alright, give them a good turn just to the side, and go ahead and add a little more butter and start basting them on this side. Heard somebody say one time that butter is the secret ingredient for everything that makes anything taste delicious. And I think that's true, don't you? Alright, then we'll go ahead and let them cook on this side. Alright, now once your burgers are done, we're just going to choose one to work with. We're going to put the others to the side for just a moment, and then we'll put them back in the pan for them to get warmed back up. Now, one thing I like to do, and if you don't want to do it, that's up to you, but if you want like a nice crispy bun, you can go ahead and put one on here while it's nice and hot, and go ahead and get that crisp on it instead of having to use a toaster, kind of like a grill. You know, if you had a big flat top grill, you just take it, put it to the side, same concept. You just give it a second to get ready, and then we'll get into plating. Now, for the plating, what I went ahead and did is use some Gruyere cheese, because Gruyere is a little more common in France, and then we're going to go ahead and add the sauce to it. But before we do that, we're going to add some French fried onions to it. Go ahead and top those off real quick. The bigger the patty, the more you can add to it. And then I didn't actually strain the sauce, but for a smoother sauce, you can, because I mean, OU is playing and it's the second quarter, so you know, we got to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and add that real quick. There we go. Top it off with a good amount of sauce, because the sauce is the boss on this burger. And then that will be our final product. You just put it on the top there, and then we'll move it to the side. You know what, it may look a little ugly, but it tastes delicious, so it's fine. And then you can always add your favorite side of fries, salad, whatever you want to do. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed the recipe. And this is what I want to leave you with. Most important thing to remember when you're cooking, the most important ingredients are love and passion. God bless and have a great day.